Okay, let's talk about ETFs. An ETF is an exchange traded fund, and it's similar to a mutual fund or an index fund in that it has a lot of different companies, a lot of components to it as opposed to just one. Let's say I want to invest in oil and I decide that I'm going to buy Exxon. So I have all these shares of Exxon. What's going to cause the price of Exxon to go up? If Exxon has a good quarter financially, good financial statements, then the value of the share is going to go up. If Exxon announces a nice dividend, then the value of shares will go up. If the price of oil goes up, then the value of Exxon will go up because Exxon is an oil producer. So the market anticipates they're going to make more money. What's going to cause Exxon to go down? If Exxon has a bad quarter and they have poor financials, then their stock price will go down. If Exxon announces a dividend that is lower than what the market wanted, then Exxon's going to go down. If Exxon's chief financial officer drops dead at his or her desk, then Exxon's price is going to go down. If Exxon has a major blowout in the Gulf of Mexico on one of their deep oil rigs, then the price of Exxon is going to go down. If the president of Exxon is being interviewed on TV and he says something that the market doesn't like, then the price of Exxon is going to go down. So if you want to invest in oil and you only invest in one company, then you're exposed to all of these additional risks that the industry itself would not suffer. So instead, you buy an ETF in the oil industry, and that ETF will not be reflective of individual issues within one company. Except I will tell you, when there was that major blowout a few years ago down in the Gulf of Mexico, and that well was bleeding for days and days and weeks, and nobody could stop the leaking. All the oil companies went down in value. But here's a listing of a bunch of ETFs by broad category. So right here we have an asset class, commodities, and if I go down this list of ETFs, I have GLD, which is very, very commonly traded. I have USO, which is United States Oil Fund. What's in the United States Oil Fund? Well, we can research it, but I'll tell you from having researched it myself, you have exploration companies, companies that are actually out drilling. You have companies that are oil support, like Halliburton, like many of the companies we have here in Dickinson that are just oil field support. You have refiners, you have people that are selling gasoline. So they're really, really broad, spread out in this ETF across that one industry in USO. And year to date, USO has gone up by 24.22%, which is not bad. What else do we have in here? GLD has gone up by 10.68, and that is just gold. But that is gold miners, that's gold refiners. It is, I don't think it's jewelry companies. That was probably pretty narrow. Here's one just for silver. And all I'm trying to do is give you a feel for what's out there. Here's one just for natural gas. And so whatever you think you want to invest in, you're probably in most cases facing less risk if you're investing in an ETF than if you're investing in an individual stock that's subject to having their CFO drop dead at his or her desk. Believe me, it happens, and it makes the headlines in the Wall Street Journal, and the stock will fall by 5, 6, 7% overnight. You have ETFs just for different regions. If you want to invest in Africa, you want to invest in emerging markets, then you can find an ETF for that. This is not comprehensive at all, even though they say they're comprehensive. So here we have Argentina. What's ASEAN? I have no idea. Australia. Yeah, look at all commodities, aluminum, biofuels. See 27 more commodities. Okay, so I could have done that on countries. So see 68 more countries. So you can invest in different stocks just from Latin America, from Chile, from China, from Chindia. I assume that's China and India. Colombia, Denmark, EAFE. What the hell is EAFE? We're going to find out. Europe, Australia, and the Far East regions. Okay. Why the hell didn't I know that? Anyway, there's ETFs that cover anything you're interested in. If you're convinced that orange juice is going to go up or go down, you can find an ETF that is strictly related just to the orange juice industry. Guaranteed. So this could be very, very comprehensive. Here's 7 asset class. I only want to invest in large companies. I only want to invest in small companies. So here is all the ETFs that only have small companies. And IWM is one that I trade in a lot, and it's just the iShares Russell 2000. I also trade in TZA, and that should be on this list. TZA is, yep, there's TZA. I trade extensively in TZA, IWM, TZA. So I don't buy options on stocks that you'd be familiar with. I don't buy options on Nike or Tesla or Apple, even though I'm using that as an example. Instead, I buy options, and these sell just like shares. I buy options on ETFs for the reason that I stated. That is it.